Hey, what's up, everyone? Pasay Baller here. This is the second part for today's MLB game day. June 21st, 2024. We're done with the first part, or we're done with the first 7 games and predictions of this game. So let's go ahead and do the other half. Now, before we proceed, I'm just inviting everyone who have not subscribed yet to our YouTube account or YouTube channel, Pasay Baller. Please click on the subscribe button below. At the same time, hit on that bell logo. That way, automatically, you guys will be receiving notifications whenever new videos are uploaded. And again, I'm just inviting everyone who are actually interested to subscribe to our premium picks or best picks. We have, once again, won yesterday. We actually had St. Louis Cardinals as the best pick for the day. And we have actually won 4 straight days. So congratulations to our subscribers. And hopefully you guys would actually try and subscribe to our best picks. Alright, so let's go ahead and proceed with this. Let's start off with this matchup between Seattle Mariners, who's got a record of 44 wins and 33 losses, going up against Miami Marlins, having a record of 25 and 49. The game will actually start at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 7:10 a.m. here in Manila. Now, obviously, it's Seattle Mariners who's having some advantage in terms of the standings. They're having a better a better outing for this particular season. That's quite obvious. Now, let's take a look at the starting pitchers that they have. For Seattle Mariners, they would have Kirby starting for them with a record of 6 wins and 5 losses and an ERA of 3.54. Now, for Miami Marlins, they would have Rogers starting for them. Man, this is gonna be this is actually stressful for him for sure. He's got a record of 1 win and 8 losses. 1 win and 8 losses, and his ERA is above 5. 5.09 to be exact. So this is going to be too tough for Rogers. I know he's trying his best, but lately he hasn't really pitched well. Seattle Mariners, they are the better team. Seattle Mariners, they have the better pitcher on this particular game. I know Miami is at home, but Seattle Mariners is one of those teams who definitely know how to win even on the road. So our pick on this one would be easily Seattle Mariners money line. Now for the next pick, we have Kansas City Royals, who's got a record of 42 wins and 34 losses, going up against Texas Rangers, having a record of 34 wins and 40 losses. Now if you take a look at their records, Kansas City Royals, they have the better record as compared to Texas, right? Texas Rangers, they are still below 500%. By the way, that game is actually at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 8:05 a.m. here in Manila. The starting pitchers for both teams, Singer would actually start for Kansas. He's got a record of 4 wins and 4 with an ERA of 3.39. Now for Texas Rangers, we got Uvalde starting for them, a record of 3 wins and 3 losses and an ERA of 3.15. Now, just like what I said earlier, Kansas City Royals, they are actually having a better season right now as compared to Texas. But I just have huge respect with Uvalde right now. I know Uvalde is actually is basically having the same record with the Singer. He's at 500%, 3 wins and 3. Singer's at 4 wins and 4. But I still feel like Uvalde is still the better pitcher. He's got the better ERA. Texas, Texas, they are at home. Kansas City Royals, man, they even had some problems winning on their last series. So I'm gonna pick Texas Rangers right here. This is a perfect opportunity for them to actually win against Kansas, especially with them having the better pitcher starting for them. So my pick on this one would be Texas Rangers, and I'll go for money line. Now for this next matchup, this will be Baltimore Orioles with a record of 49 wins and 25 losses, going up against Houston Astros with a record of 35 and 40. That one will actually start at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 8:10 a.m. here in Manila. Obviously, it's Baltimore Orioles who's having a better record and a better season as compared to Houston Astros. Man, that kind of record of Houston is not so Houston, if you know what I'm saying. They are even below 500%. Now, for the starting pitchers, it will be Rodriguez for Baltimore. He's got a record of 8 wins and 2, an ERA of 3.2. Nothing you can ask more from Rodriguez, right? For Houston Astros, it will be blows. I don't know if it's blows or bloss. He hasn't really registered any record yet, or this will be like the first time if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be very hard to go against a winning team like Baltimore Orioles, even though they are on the road. They are having the better pitcher, and you're having Houston, and Houston has been having a roller coaster ride, and we just don't know what their starting pitcher can offer. So, hands down, I'm going to go with Baltimore Orioles right here. For those who would want to do minus 1.5, this is actually the perfect matchup for y'all. So my pick would be Baltimore Orioles money line. But again, if you guys would want to do minus 1.5, I feel like that's just perfectly fine as well. All right, so for the next game, it will be Washington Nationals with a record of 36 wins and 38 losses, going up against Colorado Rockies. They got a record of 26 and 49. That one will start at 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 8:40 a.m. here in Manila. A very interesting matchup. Washington Nationals, obviously, even though they are at 500% mark, they are near the 500% record. They are having a better season as compared to Colorado. Not only that, they are also having some sort of momentum approaching this game. For their last 10 games, they have won 7. Now, for the starting pitchers, they would have Hurst starting for them with a record of 1 win and 1 loss and an ERA of 3.77. Now, for Colorado, they would have Hudson. And Hudson is actually really struggling big time with 2 wins and 9 as his record for the season and an ERA of 4.89. Wow. Now, I rarely do this. I rarely go against the team which has the advantage in terms of the starting pitcher, because obviously Hudson is doing just bad. But I'm gonna side with Colorado Rockies in here, and just to tell you why, Colorado has actually shown what kind of offense they can bring against. We saw that in the series against Los Angeles LA Dodgers. For me, they should have even won 2 times right there. I don't know if you guys would agree, but for me, they should have won twice on that particular series. And with that kind of hot pitching and hot offense, even though Hurst would be the better starting pitcher, I feel like Colorado Rockies would have enough offense and would have enough hitting skills to actually skate with the win. My pick on this one would be Colorado Rockies money line. Right, so moving forward, we have Minnesota Twins with a record of 41 wins and 34 losses, going up against Oakland Athletics. This one will actually start at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. The starting pitchers for these two teams, we got Paddock for Minnesota. He's got a very good record of 5 wins and 3, but an ERA of 5.25. Now for Oakland Athletics, they got Estes starting for them, a decent record of 2 wins and 2, 500% mark. His ERA is also at 5.97, playing around 6 already. This one is also one of those tougher matchup. I know if you just take a look at the record, easily you would just say Minnesota Twins, because again, they're having a better record. They're above 500%. The exact opposite of what Oakland Athletics is actually having right now. But Oakland just actually registered a couple of wins on their last series, and Estes is actually for me one of their more decent pitchers. Paddock, I know he's got a winning record, but his ERA is not that good. On this particular matchup, I would side with Oakland Athletics with a plus 1.5. If you guys got some extra funds right there, or if you are a bit more decent with Oakland, you guys can go ahead and try Oakland money line as well. But my suggestion would be take Oakland plus 1.5. I feel like they would have enough to at least make this game close. Alright, so on to the next game. It will be Milwaukee Brewers with a record of 44 wins and 31 losses, going up against San Diego Padres with a record of 39 and 40. That one will actually start at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be 9:40 a.m. here in Manila. Now, last night, San Diego Padres actually grabbed the win despite of Milwaukee Brewers registering the first run. On this particular matchup, it will be Rhea starting for the Brewers. He's got a record of 6 wins and 2 losses with an ERA of 3.29. We have Cease for the Padres with the record of 6 wins and 6 losses and an ERA of 3.95. Padres, man, the games of Padres, they're just so hard to read, you know. Because Padres, they are good. You know, San Diego is a very good team. They got a lot of offensive players right there. They got decent pitchers, but you know, sometimes they just don't work. And sometimes when you expect them to lose, they will just win. You know, they're just so hard to predict. Now, in this particular matchup, obviously Rhea would have the advantage in terms of pitching. San Diego, they got a little bit of momentum after winning, the matchup last night. Plus, they are at home. Again, this is going to be too tough, but I respect momentum. I respect the home court advantage, but I'm going to side with the Milwaukee Brewers right here. I feel like they would actually bounce back on this, and the pitching, the record is just, it's just for me enough. For me to side with Milwaukee Brewers. The difference between those two pitchers that they have in the start is enough for me to side with Milwaukee Brewers, despite of them losing the game last night. Now, for the last game, we have the two Los Angeles games right here. Los Angeles Angels with a record of 29 wins and 45 losses. What happened? There we go. Going up against LA Dodgers, who's got a record of 47 wins and 30. That game will actually start at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be 10:10 a.m. here in Manila. I'm not going to, hold this one for so long. It will be Sandoval, pitching for the Angels. What a record he has right now, 2 wins and 8. ERA of 5.24. Dodgers, they would have Knack starting for them. He's got a record of 1-1, 1 win and 1 loss, and an ERA of 2.61. I know Dodgers have been kind of struggling lately. They even had a hard time dealing with Colorado Rockies, but this is going to be something different. These are both LA teams. Dodgers are at home. Dodgers would have Sandoval against them in the start, and again, Sandoval is just struggling big time. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for the Dodgers to actually start big time and to actually close this one easily. My pick on this one would be LA Dodgers, and I'll go with minus 1.5. Again, that's Dodgers minus 1.5. So there you go. There are the predictions and the picks that we have for today, for today's MLB game date. That's June 21st, 2024. Peace out, pass and love, and God bless.